Game week 1 is in the books. Let's get to it.
Evening, Tate.
Evening, Jack. You all right?
Yeah, mate. How are you?
A bit flustered.
Yeah, you coming like a wrecking ball.
Flustered evening. Yeah, like I said, coming like a wrecking ball. Can't screw my mic on. Can't get the laptop to work. I haven't plugged in the mic.
It's okay.
We're here now.
We're good to go.
We're back in the bunker. Now we can relax and get to it after a lovely, lovely weekend.
It's good, isn't it? Very, very good. Yep.
And on a personal note, I had an extended weekend. I had the Friday off to go to a lovely wedding. Then obviously to Arsenal, and then to the main event of SunDan 2024.
SunDan
2023,
23, yeah, it was back.
Which was the 4th edition.
4th, yeah.
Yeah, that's where we got it from.
So it's 5th birthday next year.
Yeah. So thank you again for the to the Theobalds for hosting.
Yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Brilliant
Wonderful
day.
as usual. The wonderful DJs as well.
Yep, of course. That was good. Very good day.
But no, very good, very good. And it was also the first game of the season for the Premier League. That was the
it's back.
So that started on Friday night. Did you watch it Friday?
I didn't actually know. I was not watching it, but I suppose we'll talk about it now. But I just thought, maybe like the first few weeks, Burnley, they might do a job, and City might be a bit slow. And no, normal service resumed. Haaland turned up.
Well, we were at the wedding. Me and Joe, who's a Everton fan, we were sitting down. Fuck it, let's place a bet. First game of the season. No boring bets. Let's not put a seat on. So we both stuck a fiver on a Burnley build a bet. Mine was like 750 return.
Yeah, outrageous.
Yeah. Like their left back to score
2
or whatever it was, but yeah, we're nowhere near.
Nowhere
near.
And a lot of people said that I don't know any of the Burnley players, and I agree. I don't know who they are. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, they were built up. There's a little documentary about them, which is quite a good watch about company and their players and about their promotion. But yeah, City were just obviously far too good.
Yeah, so this episode we will talk in depth. Well, I say in depth. We'll review the Newcastle Villa game, Brentford Spurs, and Chelsea Liverpool, and I'll touch on Arsenal shortly, just because I was at the game and I can tell you my thoughts from being there. But to start with, we'll start with the teaser. And as you, of all people, will know, Harry Kane left Spurs last week. As their record goal scorer, probably their arguably the greatest player. But against which team did he finish the game in goal for Tottenham Hotspur?
Against
the
team he played against. Okay, right. I need to redeem myself after last week's.
You can remember him in the
yeah, I know exactly. I can. It's a Europa League game. I could. Yeah, I think I was there. I don't know, but all right, we'll get to that. But yeah.
So let's start with Saturday. And obviously it was at the Emirates. It was quite funny. I knew, obviously the kickoff was delayed by half an hour. I knew something like this would happen. Not people who know me know that I'm a freak for being on time.
Yeah.
If you're say meet at 1 o'clock, I'm there at up as 12.
Yeah.
I'll have been ready by like 10, just like pacing around my house, ready to go. So my dad's very similar as well in that respect. So we're both on the same wavelength. We both downloaded the app. Downloaded the ticket 3 weeks ago. I must have checked it about 10 times that it's there. Checked his phone that it's there. Probably, I think, even went around his house as well and checked that it was there. And then we get to the station, still checking that it's there and check that he's got the same one. Get to the ground, hour and a half early. Get your phones out, scan it, and straight back in. It's like Spurs. Can you do screenshots at Spurs?
Yeah, it's on your wallet. I think it's the same as you now, but it's through your wallet, and there's a barcode. That's the important part, not the wallet section.
There is no barcode anymore. Well, so it has to be the Apple Wallet thing. We went through, no problem at all. Straight up, having a beer. So that worked all right.
Yeah.
And then we sat in our seats, and it was about 12:15, and I was saying to Dad, I know it will fill up, but it's bloody empty.
It
is
empty.
And then literally 5 minutes later, they announce, it's delayed half an hour. You look outside, and there's queues and queues and queues of people. And what happened is the ticket software thing had crashed.
It was the technology. It wasn't the phones, was it?
No, it was crashed.
Scanners and all that.
But Arsenal had sent a brief out every single day in the week saying that only 90% of the people that are going to the game had downloaded the ticket, so
Yeah.
10%. And they sent an email on the day saying, do not bring your membership cards, don't bring your season tickets,
Yeah, but it's so
don't
many.
bring email print-offs.
Yeah.
None of this will get you in the ground. You need... And even when we got there 11, the queue to the ticket office was... I've never seen it that long in my life. Just...
Yeah, there must.
And
be
like
so
you
many.
said, unfortunately, it was kind of old boys and...
Yeah, it is though. And then we had this.
We don't have a smartphone.
No, we didn't have that bad of an issue, but I mean, I'm sure all grounds and people it still happens now at Spurs, but exactly that. You don't have to have it on your phone, but obviously makes life easier, blah blah, and it just like you exactly said, there's people out there that don't have smartphones that have no idea about technology and all this barcodes and all that, so yeah, it normally goes wrong. But they were trying to make a big deal of it on TV, but also they were trying to fill time because like the players in the game, they were in a point they'd never been in before, so
And
it didn't affect much.
I'll touch on it now, but obviously the Spurs game was delayed a little bit.
Yeah.
And with the additional added time, games aren't 95 plus 15 minutes half time. Games are 110, 115 minutes. So the next game is in jeopardy of getting overrun, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you're on a Super Sunday and the 2:30 has 20 minutes additional time, which is quite conceivably to happen, and you're already 10 minutes late, that's like half an hour's time that eats into their advertising time, their times on that. But anyway, let's go on to the game. We started party right back, hybrid, didn't play right back, but blah, blah, blah. I think we played very well first half. Eddie scored after a nice bit score from Martinelli, and then Saka scored a fantastic goal. The first half was pretty all Arsenal.
They had one
chance.
They had one chance at 0-0 and he messed it up, but then after that point, that was it.
And everyone was just sat back in their seats, cruise control. We're just going to go 3-4-5. Let's enjoy the day in the sun. And then the second half just drifted. We're touching on it now that unfortunately it just broke. Timber's done his ACL. The first half of his debut for Arsenal was savage.
But obviously it's a bad injury, but he come back on, didn't he? Because they didn't know sort of thing. He said he was alright.
Did a 50-50, but looked like it rattled his knee. And then whatever he was, what's it called when you jockey backwards, and then his knee twisted, and it was just like, nah, you're done. And everyone knows that injury is bad when no one's around you.
Talk about now, but there's so many. Like Mings later on, we'll talk about the Newcastle game.
Buendia
as well. That was that was before the season started. Militao from Madrid.
Courtois from Madrid.
Yeah, Courtois as well. There's been a few recently. I mean, that's not the people who say it's about the Astro. It probably is, but obviously all these happen on grass and whatever. But it's just such a terrible injury to happen, and all weirdly happen at the same time.
Well, I saw
it's unheard of.
A tweet literally before I sat down, and it was about, do you think there's any coincidence? I mean, this is just a rumour or a... I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. All these players spent all summer training on crappy US pitches and playing on them instead of playing like you could play London Colney training and you play the best preseason in the Emirates, the most ideal pristine pitches. But you've seen them when even remember the Spurs game when it was, I know no touch wood, no one's had an ACL from there, but when it's tsunami basically on the pitch, like.
Not sure. I don't.
It's not the ideal preparations, is it? And especially if you're coming back from a summer's break and then your body's getting used to turning and twisting again. I don't know.
It's just like when you see it. Because I've been through plenty of knee injuries, but it just makes you feel sick. Like because you know exactly, and it's that classic thing that when they go down, they are in pain. They are lifeless. Like they're not rolling around screaming. They might be screaming, but they're not moving and hollering and getting the ref. They are in pain. Like Mings needed help. Timber was probably the same when he went down. Like, it's not nice to see at all because you know exactly what they're going through and how painful it can be.
And I think that maybe disrupted the flow of the game a little bit, but it was one of them games. It was just a training ground game at the end of the day for 40 minutes. And I said to my dad, I'm a little bit worried that when they started with 10 minutes to go, they brought on a couple of strikers. They brought on Alanga.
Alanga, and then they had Morgan Gibbs-White and obviously Johnson still on. Who then they might as
well go for it. Might as well.
Yeah, they had a bit of pace going forward. They looked a bit more dangerous. They had a slight idea, and that's how they got their goal.
And all it takes is it's a boxing term, but to get a bloody nose, little jab, and you get your nose bloodied, and then that's basically what happened from a corner. Yeah, Alanga. I haven't seen someone move that quick at the Emirates since Walcott.
Everyone was going mad, weren't they, about his pace?
He flew down the pitch, squared it to. I'm not going to pronounce his name.
Awani.
Yeah. He scored against us last year, and he scored against us again, and then bang. Emirates is shocked.
Mm.
The travelling fans, who were absolutely fantastic, they were really good. Then they had another chance, literally 30 seconds later, in a cutback, and Gibbs White over the bar.
Mm. Yeah, it was like half volley.
It was about it. Odegaard then had a chance. I think Rice had another chance, but it didn't need to go like that. But first game of the season, take 3 points and you run. Like we were far most superior and better.
Yeah, I think it was like you said. That was just pretty solid. I watched most. I didn't watch it all, but it was a pretty solid performance, wasn't it? And like you said, first game of the season, you won the game, and there's no real issues apart from obviously Timber getting injured and a really bad injury. But no, it was pretty solid, wasn't it? For
because there was a rumour that Tierney was going to go to Real Sociedad before the game, but I don't know.
What was Timber, left back or
playing left back? Yeah.
What, like definitely left? Or was he doing the hybrid thing and all that?
Mainly left back. Left back with a little bit in when Partey wasn't. But the main idea of that promotion was to get Partey into midfield. Yeah. It just he defends as a right, but he wasn't even defending.
But in that game, you're going to have 60-70% of the ball.
Yeah, that was what we did. There's no point playing and four defenders against a game we have 85% of the ball. Yeah. You might as well play Havertz and have another attacking option. And that's what it worked.
What was Havertz like? Nothing major.
Strange one. I need to see him more to understand what he brings to the party. Like, he made some good runs, made some good passes. He's much more physical than I thought he was. Like, he's 6'4". He's a tall bloke who gets around the pitch a lot. Athletic. He played all right, but his game is, well, from what I've read and seen, is this is going to sound one of them cliche ones when he goes, "Oh, you need to be there to see what he does. You can't see it on the TV," sort of thing. But he does a lot of his good work off the ball, whether it's he's pressing or it's he's running behind, dragging defender out. Or time will tell. I think there's a reason why they've signed him. I don't know, but he's also learning a new position, and he played about 3 positions on Saturday as well, because obviously substitutions happened and whatnot. I was just buzzing that Eddie got his first. Yeah, it was good finish. First of many. Good goal. And it wasn't like a little scrappy little tap. It was a little movement. Good strike. Glad to see his starts. But anyway, that's enough of the Arsenal. Let's move on. So the 3 o'clocks were pretty non-existent. They all went. There was no real shockers in there. No, I'd say the Newcastle game was the one they scored the most goals, but that was probably the most shocking result, I'd say. Yeah, because everyone has tipped Villa, and we even said about them in Europe and talking about Emery. But who did you put in your little on the Instagram story? Who did you click? I might have said. I think I said draw. Maybe. I think I put draw as well. I think I might have said a draw, possibly. I think I said draw. I don't think I said either side. Yeah. Because it's funny, everyone's gone high on Villa, but I think people are sleeping on Newcastle in the same sense. Yeah. But, no, it's only day one, and people jump on it and whatnot. But it's funny how a team who was really good last year, people sort of forget, and they just suddenly we'll just bid them off. Like that's almost like not that we have, but suddenly everyone go, "Oh no, Arsenal, they're just that was just a flash in the pan. They'll be 6th, 7th again." But yeah, even myself, I didn't know what. No one knows what's going to happen this season, but Newcastle wasn't sure. But really, when you look at it, I know it's the first game and everyone gets excited, but Newcastle are probably one of the most consistent, solid sides throughout for the last 2-3 seasons. Not as in performance, but squad and players, and similar to Man United as well. They're probably the most similar squads for a couple of years, and they've slowly got better. And Newcastle at home, I think, it's tough place to go in it. Yeah, it's probably going to be one of the hardest away games for anyone. Isaac looks good, doesn't he? Yes. And how nice was that naughty finish, that little dig sit down. My brother, to be fair, said last week or before we'd recorded the other week, he said Isaac's going to have a good season. He said he's going to go off and start with 2 goals, and a lot of hype, and obviously a lot of Newcastle fans realising and seeing from the weekend he looked very good. Very good. Tonali and Barnes both scoring on the debut was good signs for them. Yeah. Like you touched on, Mings unfortunately ACL injury. They say they're not using the term; they're saying significant. Yeah, ligament damage. I've seen that, and that's same as Buendia. Yeah, which is savage. Yeah. You watched the highlights back on Sunday. Martinez, that's a red card, mate. Do you reckon? What, when he ran out? It was funny. Whatever it was funny when he charged him. Yeah, red card, 100%. I don't know if it's a red card. I wouldn't say red. He's so far out, and he pulls him down. I know. It's blatant cheating. It's a blatant foul, but. There's someone in the way, so he can technically
still tackle him, block the ball, whatever.
It's denied a goal scoring opportunity, no?
It is a goal, I know, yeah. But if it was a red card, I'd be
No
fuming.
attempt to play the ball.
I would be
Just
fuming.
pulls him down.
I know, it's like...
What
it
is he
doesn't make
doing
any
anyway?
sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
He's an absolute clown at the best of times, and it's just like... Oh. And then these typical... He pulls him down, it was like, hands
Yeah,
up.
it was brilliant.
No.
I was laughing. I was
Yeah.
watching my mate at the match day on Sunday, and exactly that. He charged him, grabbed him, and then he's like throwing his hands up, and no, I didn't do nothing. Like the whole world can see that you've grabbed him. But yeah, like you said, Tonali first goal. Tonali started, Gordon started as well, and Harvey Barnes obviously.
Gordon, they need to get a beat out of Gordon this season.
Yeah,
because he was rubbish for 6
He
months.
was. But then I feel like a lot of the moment, obviously, but it's a start of the season again. Gordon's had a few months to bed himself in, so
pre-season, yeah.
And he was at Everton, and people said he was quite good, but he was in a poor side, so maybe he might be a lot better than we think.
He got player of the tournament, didn't he? In the
did he 21s?
21s, yeah. Unai Emery's high line. Wow. That was like, you know when you're like button mash from FIFA and you keep pressing up at
the wrong time, trying to play the offside.
Was just like, why is it so high? And
Yeah.
they keep just holding it. Obviously, they're holding it for a reason. And they got through. Like Barnes squared it twice, didn't he? He got one for Wilson, and then he tried it again, and Wilson missed.
Yeah.
And the third time he went and
got
scored.
the goal. Yeah. Like defensively, they obviously conceded 5. They can't be good, but I just don't think Villa were that bad. They had a few chances. They did have a few good opportunities, and on a different day they might have scored, and it might have been 2-2 for a long time, or 3-2 to Villa. But yes, defensively they were a bit of a mess, and you watch highlights and you see the goals, and they're, like you said, all over the place. But again, that probably has a massive thing to do with Mings, and when they know Mings' injury is quite rough in that game, you're probably thinking about him, and he's their captain. He's turned his his career within Villa is going down one way, turned it round, and has become a very good player for them.
And also, selfishly, you're probably thinking about yourself as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Thinking,
definitely.
I don't want this to happen to me.
No, yeah. I don't. Yeah, we're losing anyway. I don't want to get hurt. We're getting smashed, so you take it easy. I don't know. We don't know that. It's a guess, but
I mean, the end of the game with Pau Torres and Carlos. I can't remember his surname now. The other centre back.
Yes.
Diego
Carlos.
Diego Carlos. Yeah. Like he's taking his second. Basically, he played one game last season, I think.
Yeah.
Them two probably on paper are their two starters. I'm not too sure on Pau Torres' pace to play that high line, but time will tell.
Luca
Digne is not a defender, but I don't think he's their first choice now. They've signed that other one from January, didn't they?
Moreno? No.
So, yeah, I think it's Moreno.
Yeah, the Spanish guy. But again, though, that Pau Torres comes on in a game where he probably was never expected to play. Obviously, again, Mings gets injured, so he has to come on and play. So it's a bit, it's harsh, but Villa started off very poorly. But again, Newcastle just bulldozed through them, didn't they?
Yeah,
absolutely destroyed them.
And fantastic. 2 goals from Isaac, like you touched on. Tonali, Barnes, and Wilson came on and got his customary goal as a sub. He was actually saying on a podcast last week about this additional time, and they said there's 2 ways about it. A, we're going to be playing so much more football each season, but B, he goes, as a striker, I'm licking my lips thinking, if I'm getting subbed on in the 60th minute, I'm getting maybe 45 minutes here.
You got a solid time, true, very true.
On the other hand, this shows the mindset, I think, of the 2 clubs at the moment. He does podcasts with Antonio, doesn't he?
Right. Yeah.
And Antonio goes, I don't want it. Imagine being 5-0 down and then you've got to play another 10 minutes.
Then you get subbed on.
He was like, Man City 5-0. He goes, it could be 8. It could be 8 in injury time.
Yeah. I get it, but I don't get what. I think Spurs had 11 minutes in the first half, but then in the second half there was 4 minutes added on.
That 4 minutes, that definitely was the Sky producer saying, we've got a game on it.
Yeah.
We need to.
But that's what I'm saying. That what I do, I wouldn't say I'm against it at the time, but I think, like everyone says, you don't get a full 90 minutes or 45 minutes half and all that. But when the players and the managers talk about the game, they don't go, we only played 23 minutes at the weekend. We only played 44 minutes. They say, we played a 90-minute game Sunday. We've got to play Wednesday.
I'm a big fan of the additional time. I won't lie. Just because you'll get it this season. You'll be at Spurs booing and jeering. You'll be at home struggling to break down Everton, and you'll have Jordan Pickford, and he'll put the ball down. He'll walk back, kick his boots against the thing. He'll run up, move the ball again, across the
across 6-yard
thing,
box. Yeah,
and then he'll boot it. And every time it's going to be 45 seconds. It'll start off in 30, then it'll be 35, then it'll be 40, and it's going to go 0-0 and 0-0. And then it will get booked in the 85th minute, and that will stop now. You do that that will get added on and added on and added on, and you will score. It will all happen to all of us. You will score a winner in the 101st minute this season.
Well, even
and you will
weekend,
concede. You will concede.
But even at the weekend, we scored. Royale's our second goal was in the 5th, 6th minute of first half. So,
because how many times did you see it last year? When prime example, the game we might as well talk about it now. The Spurs game in there, the penalty instant probably took 3. The offside goal first, Romero's goal, and an offside. You normally get just chuck 4 minutes there. Yeah. They clearly took more than 4 minutes inside them two things, and an injury in there, and
And like I said, I do understand it, but I wouldn't. I just think it's unnecessary. I think it will stop as well. It will get to 2 months in and it will just suddenly fizzle out. It won't be 10 minutes every half. It just it'll be one of those things. But not for me.
Right, should we move on to Sunday's games and
let's do
Tottenham Hotspur. Thoughts on the team then as the first game?
I will say
with Ange.
The first comment is it was very promising, very positive, and it's the first game, like you said, and everyone gets excited, but everyone will write off Spurs. But I genuinely believe that we'll be just fine, and everyone can ignore us. That's all right, but we'll be good. We'll be exactly where we should be. I think it could be a very, very exciting season for us.
Promising in both sense. Because it was a strange one. You sort of started a bit slow, and then you grew into it, and the goal came. I wouldn't say against the run of play because no one's really on top, but it came out of nothing, didn't it? It was just a free kick whipped in, bang on the head, goal.
No, I'd say the first 2-3 minutes of the game was very small time, but we were like all over the place, and I said like our players looked actually nervous, and you could tell they were worried about everything going on. But and then when it sounds stupid and really like basic, but when one or two of them made their first strong tackle or made their like simple 10-yard pass or whatever it was, they then settled down, and it was much better to see. And I just thought overall like we're skipping ahead, but I'm watching it. I was excited again, and I almost felt nervous again, which is sounds a bit weird, but I felt
like it mattered.
Yeah, I felt attached to the team again, and that's only because of Postecoglou and what he's done so far. And you think, oh bloody hell, he's only just started. Like, mate, your Spurs, like, calm down. But I don't know, just much better. It's much you could hear from the away end, the singing for him already, and that's it. Yeah, we're going to our team as well. But we started 4 new signings: Maddison, Van der Ven, the left back Odogi.
Where'd you get him from?
Was it Parma? Don't know. Parma?
Is he Italian?
Yeah, he's Italian. Yeah,
right.
He played for under-21s in the summer.
Right.
And then the goalie as well, Vicario, whatever his name is. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. We played 4 new signings, a whole new side, a whole new style of play. It's a whole new era. That word that keeps getting thrown about. But the left back's 20 years old. You're laughing, but it's true. But it's true. We've got a left back who's 20 years old. The left centre back Van der Ven, who's 23, 24 years old, who trained 3 times in a week. We just signed him. He's trained 3 times, hasn't played a minute's football. Then we've got some random nutter in goal.
But
what have you said?
No, it's I get exactly what you mean. It's new, it's fresh. And remember when we said back when we did the podcast last summer, you were like, the last thing you can do is start Lloris, Dyer, and all these clowns again.
And it didn't happen. And like I said, the way we're playing football, there's little signs. I know. I thought Basuma was brilliant. I really like Maddison. Okay, everyone's slating Richarlison, but we've lost our best striker, our best player ever, Harry Kane. We cannot. Whoever's going to play striker, they're not there to replace him. You cannot replace Harry Kane. It's impossible. So we're going to have to. And I think Postecoglou and whoever's in around it, they know that, and they went into this position knowing that. So they're building a side around the squad. They're not going, right, we've got Harry Kane, let's just get the ball to Harry Kane and score goals. We've got players like Maddison to help Richarlison. We've got Son and Kulusevski. They weren't great, but I don't know. It's a much better feeling already. And yes, it's the first game in, But I think it's far better already. And there'll be games, and Man United next week we'll probably get battered. There'll be games where we'll get absolutely sorted. And you saw that with the way we were playing football, and we're a bit more exposed, and you can tell Royale is still not a good player. Dave come on and was quite good. Sanchez was quite a good player, but you still know that he's a poor centre back. But yeah, I just felt like it was a lot more excitement about it.
Was it a penalty?
It was very soft, wasn't it? Initially I was like, bloody hell, it's never a penalty. But if you boil it down to the letter of the law, yes, it's a foul. But he hits his left leg, and then the guy stops and then rolls around holding his right leg. So. But yeah, he's always going to be a given a penalty. It's just a poor, sloppy forward, Son running back, charging, doesn't have to defend. Oh, I've tripped him up, penalty. But you just knew, as soon as they were talking about it, you just knew it was being given.
Yeah, once the Brentford player actually booted the ball, he was thinking Janssen was just like, I've had enough, kicked it out. I was like, are you going to look at this now?
Yeah, it was rubbish.
And then it went back, and
it was always being given. It's a shame, and that's to be the goals. The first goal was a penalty. Their second goal.
So this is the one I wanted to mention actually. Mbembo.
Mbembo, yeah.
I'm so surprised a bigger club hasn't gone for him. I'm really on board with him. He's 23.
Yeah, I didn't realise how young he was.
I think he scored 7 goals last year, and now Tony's out for 6 months. If they continue to get penalties at the rate they've got him last season, I think Tony scored like 8 penalties last year. Yeah. And he's clearly good at them. I think he scored 2 in Mbembo last year when Tony was not playing.
Yeah,
that could add goals to his tally.
Yeah,
and I think he was a menace all game. Really, I think he's their best attacker.
Yeah, Brentford like they have been for the last 2 seasons.
You better touch on the second goal was so soft.
Yeah, and
I think ball down the line.
I think there was a foul that I didn't think was a foul personally, but obviously the refs give it, and we just totally classic like fell asleep, cliche, and we just stopped playing. But Royale got beat down on his side quite comfortably by their left back Rico. It was very good at the weekend, and then it comes across and Visser connects to it, but it is unlucky. It just comes off Van de Ven over the goalie. It looks like a terrible mistake, but there's absolutely nothing the goalie could have done about either of their goals.
And then, like you said, went into, was it 11 minutes added on first half?
Yeah, first half, 11 minutes.
And Royale turned into, prime Gerrard?
Seedorf, Ronaldinho.
Finish from outside the box into the...
Yeah.
It's funny, though, because he gets... Obviously, these players are so good at what they do, and we could never, ever get anywhere near it. But he's Brazilian at the end of the day, and he's obviously got some sort of quality in there. Yeah. But he does that week in, week out, or day in, day in. Just in the training, just like whips in shots, and
he just isn't.
He's just not a right back.
No, probably. He's just not. If he's a right,
he's obviously
back,
very good at football, but not.
He's not. He's probably 6 out of 10 for defending, but his attacking wise, he might be 7 or 8.
Yeah.
But I think on Royale and certain players that are playing, I think it's. For Postecoglou at the minute, it's like, right, it's Porro or Royale. If I play Porro, he doesn't offer me what Royale might do in the formation and system I'm playing. He knows Royale's not that great, but because of if Porro was playing, it'd be such a bad player that, okay, Royale starts. And I think that's the same with Højbjerg, because Højbjerg didn't play at the weekend. And the most interesting thing I felt was that he brought Sarr on before he even looked at Højbjerg. Højbjerg didn't come on. And I think it's the same way that he wants to play this certain football in a certain way, and he wants certain players, and Højbjerg and maybe Porro just not suited for the manager, which I'm happy about. I hate Højbjerg, I hate Porro, but if someone's come in and said, right, this is how I want to do it, and this is how we're going to do it, and it's good to see.
Because I've seen that online through bits and bobs about it. He doesn't seem to be Højbjerg's biggest fan in terms of how he plays, and Højbjerg's very roll the sleeves up, classic. Roll the sleeves up. I run round and kick the ball, and
he's so limited. And I've been barking on about this for ages. But you've had, and I'm not saying Portugal is an unbelievable manager, best manager in the world, but he's come in and immediately removed Højbjerg. But Conte was persistent, and Højbjerg's a man. He must play. But new manager, new ideas, and all right, we're not going to set the world right.
Was like
we drew the game, but
Conte's mouthpiece on those.
Yeah.
He just was Conte was just a barking idiot
exactly.
on the side.
Yeah.
So this is probably the first good game Basuma's had for you.
Yeah, but then he
was Brighton Basuma today.
But last season, yes, he had lots of injuries. He's a bit of a mess, but he's playing under Conte. Conte must be just calling him all sorts and telling him, no, you get the ball and pass it 2 yards. Like he just must restrict these sort of players. And whereas Basuma started this season, Postecoglou seems like a massive fan of his, and I thought Basuma was absolutely outstanding.
Well, that was the thing last season. You signed all these players, and none of them played except Perisic.
No.
Like it was like,
No, and it must be.
It seemed, wasn't it like? I can't remember. I'm thinking it might be game week 4, whatever. He then picked a start. One of your new signings to actually start, bar Perisic. Remember, Basuma, Dred Spence, obviously, has been banished. Banished with the face of the face.
But I just think from last season that clearly Conte just didn't like those players or whatever.
Didn't like being there, and I think that rubs off on the club as well.
His attitude was horrible as well, worse than most of the players. But you've seen today, Postecoglou, basically, what I've read as well, I've gone into it all and seen loads of good things about it, but he's saying that over the next few weeks now is about getting rid of some of the squad players. He said the squad's too big for them, what they want to do, blah, blah. So the likes of Ndombele, they'll be gone. We're not sure about Dyer.
Not going to let him cook?
No, what a divvy. Another manager's come in. We've had Mourinho, Conte, even Nuno. Now we've got Postecoglou. There's clearly something wrong with the bloke. He's 27 next month. He's not some young chicken who's like who's firing about and he's 18, 19, that way he's a talent. No, he's 27 next month and he needs to grow up. And I read as well that since his youth that everyone said, oh, what a player, but his attitude's terrible. Oh, he's a great player, but he's just throws in a towel. He's lazy. Like, well, like I said, he's 27 next month. It's still the same story. So just bite the bullet, get rid of him, get him out of our club.
And you know, he'll go back to France and he'll ball at France because that league is
he can play at 50% pace and stroll around the pitch and do a flick and a trick and put it in top corner. Great, well done. But he's just obviously there's something wrong with him. But there's other players like Gilworth's in the squad. I think Reguilon will be on the move. Hopefully we get rid of a centre back but bring in another centre back. I think in a couple of weeks our squad will be very different.
It was an interesting conversation. Obviously, Kane left in the week, and I think it was Jake who put on the chat who's going to be captain. He's going to be Gentle Ben.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I was like, went through your squad. I was like, who the hell is it going to be?
No.
You happy with the? Does it matter? But are you happy with the choice?
It doesn't. I would say it doesn't matter because if it was someone else, I'd be like, well, no. Like, why is it
Dyer?
Why is it Dyer? Why is it Basuma? Or like, but no, I'm quite happy, and that's another thing about Postecoglou. He's known Son. Their paths have crossed many a time through. Obviously, him representing South Korea, and then obviously Postecoglou being Australian manager and all the rest of it. And Son's the captain of South Korea. It's obviously a very different situation, but Postecoglou obviously trusts him. He's one of our senior players, one of our better, if not our best player when he's on form. And maybe he thinks that giving the captaincy is going to change his mindset and give him a boost that he needs. Because at the minute, I feel like Son he's always trying too hard. He knows that he's not playing well, but for whatever reason, what he was doing before isn't working, or he's tried something different to try and improve, and it's just not quite there. He just seems like a very different player. But I think maybe the captaincy is a way for Postecoglou to give him a kick up the arse and go on, give him like an encouragement maybe that he needs. I
tend to agree. I think if there's no outstanding leaders, I mean, I do think that term now is a bit outdated. Like, that long gone are the days of Terry and etc. Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira.
Yeah.
Worst case, most teams just give it to the best player.
Yeah, and that's what we've done basically.
After it for years, they had Van Persie, Fabregas, even Aubameyang was the best player. Gave it to the best player because they should lead by example. Yeah. And I think Son is one of them players. I don't think anyone in that dressing room probably turns up on time. Though he does. Yeah. Probably trains hardest. First one in, last one out.
He's probably
nice to all the staff.
Yeah, and he's probably got so much pressure on himself. I know his dad's heavily involved. Probably the whole of South Korea. He feels that on his back. So, Son is. I imagine, and looking from the outside, he is probably the example professional sort of thing. And no, I'm quite happy. And like Maddison's been given a vice captain, and Romero as well. So.
I think the second half sort of drifted out. I didn't really have much to say on the second.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't that great. We didn't create a lot. It wasn't that. We did dominate the ball, and that was good. But we never looked in trouble. But there was no real chance. There was a couple of chances, but it wasn't that great of a second half.
Draw, fair result.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I'd say draw there. Most teams will. They were very good last season at home. We've drawn 3 times there away now, so it wasn't. I think it was. It was overall, like I keep saying, but the whole atmosphere around the side and. When you actually watch, because I watched it from home, my dad and brother went to the game in the stadium, and we have slightly different opinions on what happened. But when you watch it and sat down and actually reflect on it, it was like I said, it was just quite promising and very positive. So,
no, that's good. And from one new experience to another very new, the new era, as you just said, the new era of Chelsea,
yeah, and
Liverpool to an extent.
Yeah, the Caicedo derby,
but the custody match for Caicedo.
Yeah.
I just want to touch on this. And we've mentioned Chelsea so many times in this podcast, millions and millions of money, etc. I just don't know any of their players.
No.
That bench was like, who are these players coming on?
I mean, they've obviously
they had a guy from Burnley last year. Is he a Chelsea youth player, or do they sign him from Burnley?
The Maatsen guy.
Yeah,
he's a Chelsea youth player.
Number 17. I was like, where is he? They got. So I just put Axel. Axel was the guy I was trying to talk about last week. Who scored, and he was playing for Monaco and for France. And
he's young. I don't know who. Yeah, exactly. That sounds stupid, but I don't know who these players
Miss
are.
Jackson up front.
Yeah, ridiculous. And they've just signed Caicedo as well today.
Kepa's gone on loan to Real Madrid. Yeah. What?
Well, no, it feels like. It feels like when you play. Say you had FIFA 19 or something, and then you've got to this point on your career mode. And all these random
rejects.
Harry Kane's gone to Bayern Munich. Kepa's gone to Madrid. Like all these random moves, and it's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. And Chelsea's team is basically a load of regens that just popped out of nowhere.
So they had Sanchez starting in goal. That looks to be their number one now.
Yeah,
is that going to be the case? Or are they going to sign another one? Is he good enough to be number one?
That's a strange one, isn't it? Why Kepa must not wanted to play. He must have got wind.
Kepa's definitely not good enough.
No.
I can...
No, but he's going to want to play for Real Madrid, isn't he? So.
Oh, he will play. Now, Courtois out for 12 months, isn't he?
Yeah.
Courtois done his knee, so... Yeah. I can't blame Courtois for going there at all. Why would Real Madrid have done that? It's beyond me, but there we go. Chilwell started. It was a bit of a 3/4, wasn't it? Because Cole came back in, and then it was Enzo and Gallagher.
They were saying on the pundits and that were saying to Poch when they got him in the interview, saying like, why was it a 5? Blah blah. But Poch said I think the players got it a bit wrong. They weren't quite performing how they asked. But essentially Chilwell and Reece James are their main focus, and it seems and it appears that Poch is building what he done with Spurs, built on two unbelievable fullbacks in Kyle Walker and Danny Rose, Chilwell, Reece James. And if they stay fit, but I think they both went off, didn't they?
I know Reece James did, yeah.
I think they might have both gone off, and if they're both injured, then that could tear that team apart.
I don't know what it is. It might just be a personal thing. Chilwell really irritates me. There's something about I find him really dislikable.
Yeah, he's very good. I do like him as a player, but I do get that.
I know one...
Mount. For me, like Mason Mount.
One part of it is there's a chunk of extreme jealousy because he used to go out of that Joanna from Love Island,
right? Yeah,
who is
a joke.
Yeah, there's an extreme jealousy in there, but the other part, he just irritates me. Whether it's his hair or his clothes he wears or his awful 2023 hipster tats he's got in his hands, and it just irritates me. But no, he played really well. But talk with Liverpool. Liverpool started the game really, really strong. Yeah.
It was a classic, two good sides. It was just a very even game, wasn't it? Liverpool dominated the start, then Chelsea got a foothold in the game, then it changed over again, then it went back the other way. So
great goal from Diaz. Salah got the ball, lovely pass, and Diaz scored. And then this is where the game changed. When Salah made it 2-0, that's... Oh crap! We're 2-0 down at home. First game of the season, new squad. What is going on?
Yeah,
and that's where the VAR obviously he's offside, so the correct decision is made. But that makes such an impact. It galvanises the home team, the home crowd.
The whole momentum suddenly
switches. You see Klopp laughing he was heading again.
First game in,
laughing, and he's like the world's against us, and this and that. But he's offside. It'll happen to all of us, and Liverpool got literally the same result back after. But I'll get back into it. But and then Axel equalised. Big against run of play, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just basically
set piece, wasn't it?
He jumped on it,
scooped it over Alisson, and then Chilwell was through, round the goalkeeper, 2-1, and then where the hell is this coming from?
Yeah.
But then Liverpool was saved by VAR and going to half time, 1-1. Second half again was a bit of a non-event for me. But the game changes on them tight VAR decisions. They're both right, and you could probably see just with the naked eye they were off. Obviously, they took their time with the the lines.
It was just very even, wasn't it? And like, again, like Spurs, and even with Arsenal, some like all the teams with new players, and start to see it was that, wasn't it? It got it. Those two games in particular, Tottenham and the Chelsea game, it was Liverpool had a new couple of faces playing. Chelsea had obviously a few more. New manager for them. Klopp trying to rebuild. It's almost like Klopp Liverpool 2.0, like him starting again and rebuilding that side. So I think again it's the first game where everyone gets excited, but only time will tell and give us a better idea of what's going on.
It was quite funny watching both these teams go at each other. It was quite clear they both need a central defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
And he has just signed for £115 million British transfer record.
I think I've said it before, but it's just barbaric. It's ridiculous.
Barbaric.
It's just ridiculous.
Moses Caicedo.
Theobald, they've spent, since he came in, about 820 odd million or something.
Correct, yeah.
Ridiculous. I know that this summer they've suddenly sold 200 odd million worth of players, but how can that just can't be fair. Whatever they're doing is wrong. It just has to be wrong. How can they get away with it? Because they're going about these contracts and Todd Bowley's found a loophole. It can't be.
I don't get how you can spend that much money. Like, you need to spend £1 billion in 3 transfer windows.
There's no way that, I mean, I might be horribly wrong, but surely they haven't turned over $1 billion in profit. I don't know, it's crazy. I don't know how they're doing it.
I don't know. I know how the books work, and obviously so you can take the money against the transfer, against the contract fee, and if you sell your own players like a Mason Mount, who else was Loftus-Cheek, there's more profit involved in that. But I don't know how. But it just seems from the naked eye like surely
outrageous.
It is outrageous. Surely they're going to get bit. But again, what's the fine for FFP? £1 million.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, they've just spent nearly £1 billion on players.
We'll give you £2 million for the sake of it. Fine us for the next 2 years then.
Yeah. Maybe they should.
Strange one, Chelsea. Like obviously, I think Caicedo and Enzo had a good game, and Caicedo and Enzo will be a good centre midfield partner. Oh, you should offer.
Yeah, their price combined, bloody hell.
For I think it's 45. No, that's Caicedo's had 45 games. I think it's under 75 games for Premier League football for 225.
Mental.
Yeah. So about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, they had a bid rejected 60 million for Caicedo. And 6 weeks later, they just bought him for 115 million. And they're about to buy Lavia.
Yeah, and they look like they've nicked him as well.
From Liverpool.
Ridiculous.
Which is...
Because I saw today that Liverpool had agreed...
For 50... No, they both agreed the same fee, and then Lavia's chosen Chelsea.
Fine. Yeah, again, no, that's another 60 on top of what I was saying, so...
I know we're both biased, but let's think about this in a footballing perspective. You're Moses Caicedo. Surely you're signing for Liverpool over Chelsea. If all the terms are the same and the money is the same, the price is the same, blah, 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 blah. Who are you putting your signature on the dotted line for?
When it is all the same, I guess it just comes down to a player. I wouldn't necessarily say Liverpool.
Surely Liverpool right now are the better attraction. Surely. Or is that just me being naive to it?
I don't know, possibly, but yeah, if it's all the same, then
Liverpool. I know Chelsea are big, but Liverpool, big old club. You know exactly where you're playing. You haven't got 1,000 players to. I don't know. It's just Anfield.
I don't know. Yeah, but then
you're in Europe. I know that doesn't. Chelsea aren't in Europe, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Sure.
For me, it just seems that you'd surely sign up for Liverpool over Chelsea. Obviously, you got the London attraction and whatnot, but.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't want to play for Klopp, so
I don't know. In second half, like I said, was again not much going on.
No,
I think it was a draw, probably fair result in the end.
Yeah, again, you're happy if Liverpool away Chelsea first game a draw every day.
Salah had a sulk. Nunez came on. Mudryk came on.
Your mate Curtis Jones came on.
I thought.
Did he start actually?
No, he didn't start. No. Well.
Did they play? Yeah, they played all their new.
They played all their new signs. Yeah. They played without a recognised defensive midfielder because it was Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Gakpo.
Yeah,
was the midfield three.
Jota, Salah,
and Diaz.
yeah.
But no, it'll be interesting.
Mm.
Right, should we move on to our team of the week?
Yeah, we don't. Like this season, I think we might. Obviously, we talk about other games when they come up and if necessary, but yeah, we won't really go through all the rest of them and say, "Oh, this happened," unless something crazy did happen. But yeah, it's just the first week as well, isn't it? It's the first week. It's a bit tougher to try and make conclusions.
I thought it was a shocking result for Everton, though.
Yeah, I thought it was going to happen. Though. I fancied Fulham away. Did fancy him.
And talking to Fulham, Leno was the goalkeeper.
Team of the week.
Clean sheet. We made a joke about it last year, and it was like, if you could score, if you played for City or you played in the Premier League for 90 minutes every game, you'd score 5 goals or whatever. And I said, well, look at the prime example of Neil Maupay.
Yeah.
That bloke tries and scores goals. He's just shit, but he's so much better than us.
Yeah.
How did he not score yesterday on Saturday?
How did Everton not score? From the highlights, he had loads of chances, absolutely loads.
He made a few good saves, but one thing that was insulting me still, it's his second season at the club now. Why are you still number 17? that needs to stop. Surely the number one's left, or get a number.
Or if you're going to be just
get a goalkeeper number.
Get
a goalkeeper number.
Just take number 1 from whoever has got it. Leno in goal.
Away, first game of the season, away from home, clean sheet, made a few good saves, and there wasn't many goalkeepers to choose from, to be honest.
When you watch the games, and I watched a couple full 90 minutes, obviously the rest of the nothing really stood out. No one was brilliant. Newcastle had a comfortable game at home. Most other teams conceded, so it was Leno's a good choice, I think. But then first defender was Estepinian from Brighton. Just again he had a good game, didn't he? He was
very
good.
attacking. He's a very high picked in the old fantasy Premier League everywhere. He got an assist. Just marauding down that left hand side. It looks like it's going to be another good signing, and probably going to be a Chelsea player in the next 12 months when they get rid of Cucurella.
And they sell him for 50 in January to Chelsea.
You see that joke online today? They made a bid, Brighton, for 15 million for a Lille centre mid.
Really?
He's like 20 years old. So they were like, Chelsea might as well sign him now as well.
Buy him in a year's time.
And then we've touched him earlier, but our second defender is another left back, Ben Chilwell. Or I've put Chilwell here.
Chile?
So I've spelled that wrong. Which is very good from that left-hand side. And like we said, we had a great performance. Got a goal, unfortunately ruled out for offside, but if he can keep fit, he'll be very important for Chelsea and for England as well.
Yeah, and the first midfielder we've gone for is Basuma from Spurs after the weekend. Like I said earlier, just very good. Very, very good. And hopefully, again, stays fit, but I think he represents Mali, and they're in the AFCON at the start of the new year, so hopefully they go out in the group stage and he comes back. But very good, and I think he might be a very, very important player for Spurs if we do well.
Yeah, it was nice to see. Well, I'm being a neutral here. It's nice to see a player that was good.
Show how good he can.
Because I think we've had quite a lot of them recently that have been good for like a couple of years and then just completely lost it all. To see him back. Yeah, no, he was good, and hopefully, that can continue, and I think he could be very important for us. And then our first fan vote of the season was between Bukayo Saka and, is it Sandro Tonali? Sandro Tonali, 1 second, let me get it up. Scores on the doors was at 20:11. Yep, 10 past 8, 11 past 8. We have got, I think it was Saka just ahead. Saka 62% in the end of the vote. Oh, to Tonali's 38%. Both scoring first game of the season. Both played well. Saka actually got man of the match for Arsenal, which I didn't personally agree on that. A lot of people said he was very good. Yeah, I just looked a bit. Last 10-15 minutes just didn't really do much. But that's because I was getting stressed because it was 2-1. It was 2-1, yeah. But no, Saka is in. And then we've touched on him at the head of the show, but our number 9, Alexander Isak. 2 goals, 1 fantastic little dink. And like you said, your brother tipped him to be a good player. And he's got all the attributes. Good. Tall, strong, quick, can finish. Yeah, he's pretty skillful. Like, remember that skill last season at Everton away? Yeah. He's got the old cliche, got good feet for a big man. Yeah, he does.
I think he could be very good.
Just a quick one. Isaac or Darwin Núñez? Who'd you sign? Who's going to score more goals?
Isaac, I reckon. Right at this moment in time, I'd prefer if I was Tottenham and we were going to sign one of them, I'd prefer Isaac.
Right. Yeah, so run it through again. Leno,
Estepinian.
Chilwell, Saka, Basuma and Isaac.
Yeah, and that'll be up probably a couple of days when the graphic will be made.
Asterisk obviously doesn't include any players from tonight's game.
No.
United Wolves, probably Rashford, double goal and one of these point to the head.
Yeah. That is true. Well, when we record on Monday, if there is a Monday night game, that
Arsenal Palace next Monday.
Oof.
Palace Arsenal, should I say?
Yeah, we those players probably won't be in the team of the week, but sorry about that.
Right, so we've got 2 more segments to go. Winner and prediction. Which one should we start with first?
Let's do winner and loser.
Winner of the week. So,
do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start with my winner. My winner of the week is an off-the-field one. And it's the Theobald family again.
Oh, nice. Very good.
A shout-out for a wonderful SunDan again. That you can see how much effort they put into the day. And that is reciprocated in what the day becomes.
Yes.
And everyone is on good vibes.
Yeah.
All the stalls are good. It just looks the part and is the part.
Yeah.
The music's good. Just everything
it's
there is done proper, and it just makes everyone's day. And it's always top tier day on the first, second game of the season.
Yeah. Sam, Megan, obviously, of course, the 2 goats, Mandy and Steve, cannot. Yeah, it doesn't happen without mainly Steve building all the scaffolding up and doing all that stuff. But they all,
because we can't have a good day without the effort being put in there in the first place. If you turn up to a random field and it's just it's a year 10, 11 field party.
Yeah, that's like they don't half-arse it. It's 100%. They go for it. It's quality. So great one. Great
that was it. Yeah,
my winner is off the field one as well, but very much closer to the pitch than what yours was. I've gone for the Newcastle fan who was topless and copied Harvey Barnes' celebration, the bow and arrow when he came on and scored, opened his account for Newcastle. You saw it on the replay, but the camera angle was just a great angle, followed Harvey Barnes away, done his trademark bow and arrow to the fans, and there's pretty much a prime Newcastle fan, top off, gut out, probably had about 40 beers up until that point and just thought, you know what, this bow and arrow is getting sent.
Back to Harvey.
Flick the wrist. Made eye contact with Harvey and away he went. So my winner of the week is a Newcastle fan who backed Harvey Barnes' bow and arrow celebration.
That is fantastic. Lose the week. I struggled with this. I was either going to go the Sheffield United player that tried to square up to Hodgson. And
that was funny, wasn't it?
And was sent packing.
Roy actually gritted his teeth. At him like a fucking Rottweiler.
He was sent packing.
That was I think he just grabbed him in the nuts or something. Roy was having none of it.
Sent packing.
Yeah. That was funny.
But I've actually gone for Liverpool. And why I've touched on this is their disaster off the field this week in their hunt for a centre midfielder. They have pissed around with Lavia all summer. 5 million here, 5 million here. And then they thought, fuck this, we're going to go Caicedo for 115 million, put in a world record bid, got it accepted, and then got turned down. And then they've just got a bid accepted today for Lavia, and they've been turned down again. And I think that's just a
rough
rough. They've got to go back to the drawing board for their third choice now, with the season already started. Not a great look.
Yeah, Højbjerg's available if they want him.
And now, I know it's all... Everyone's the same, but now they've had their pants pulled down. They know you have £115 million to spend on a player.
Yeah, people know that they're desperate for that position now. So
if you come in for a £50 million bid, that can easily go to 60, 70.
Yeah, no, I like it. My loser of the week, I've gone for Martin O'Neill. A lot of people may have seen it when the League Cup draw was on Wednesday night, and he was pulling out the away teams. Wes Morgan was doing the home teams, but for whatever reason, he was grabbing the balls out the tub, and he was reading out the numbers but held the ball to his mouth like he was talking to the mic, whilst his mic was in the other hand miles away. I don't know, what was he up to? He just lost the plot. I don't know if he was drunk or something. It was just awful. So Martin O'Neill doing the League Cup teams. You're my loser of the week.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic. It was nearly reminiscent of the old, what was his name? Who's the singer who did it? Rod Stewart, wasn't it?
Yeah, when he was absolutely battered. Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, don't know. Martin O'Neill just lost his mind.
Right, prediction time. So this is the new segment we did last week. I chose to do Bournemouth West Ham. We both got it wrong. It was a draw on 1-1. So Jack, your turn.
Should we do it? So I'm on my phone now on Flash Scores.
There are Saturday game.
There are other football apps out there and sport apps, but yes, I'm gonna say that. Should we just do a Saturday game?
Yeah.
And then on this particular app, it's the favourite competitions at the top. Should I just go for one of them or anything?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Because poor old Josh has got to get a graphic for it.
Okay, yeah. So I better not go to Argentina Premier C. I want to go to the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
And we're going to go the team that beat Harry Kane's Bayern Munich. Leverkusen have Leipzig at home at 2:30 on Saturday.
Granit Xhaka.
First opening weekend of Bundesliga. Leverkusen at home to Leipzig.
Right, let me write this down. So Leverkusen at home.
Yeah, Leverkusen at home to Leipzig.
I'm going to go for Xavi Alonso as well, isn't it? I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
Oof. I'm going to go 2-0 win for Leverkusen.
All right. I like it. Leverkusen. Let me write that down. Perfect. So, let's move back and end the show on the teaser. So, as you just touched on there, Harry Kane left Spurs last week as a record goal scorer, Spurs legend. But which team did he finish the game against in goal? You were correct in saying it was a Europa League game.
It was.
To refresh your memory, talk to me about... Can you remember what happened in the game at all?
Not particularly. I do remember that moment. It was a free kick, I think, he was in goal for at the start. Did he score that game?
Sort of hat-trick.
Yeah. They obviously weren't very good.
Harry Kane had already batted a hat-trick in the match and then conceded a soft free kick as Spurs ran out 5-1 winners. Lloris was sent off about 3 minutes prior. And they used all their subs. So H went in goal.
Big H, yeah.
And was a calamity.
Yeah, he threw one in the net, didn't he? I've got two teams in my head. They might be terribly wrong, but one of them is FC Sheriff for some reason. I don't know why. And the other one is it Limassol?
I think you're close on both of them. They're not right. You're in the right ballpark area. I mean, as back in the day, Europa League teams...
That's up there, yeah.
Up there.
And we had a good old spell in Europa League.
You are in the correct ballpark figure. I mean, I'm
going to say that Limassol team, it's not them, but because obviously you just said, but it's a weird name. They're Greek or something.
Yep, they are Greek. Yeah. I'm going to take a deep breath before I try and pronounce this.
Go on.
Tripolis.
Tripolis. Yeah, that's why I said Limassol, because it was a weird... Yeah. I was never coming to that.
Asterisk, and it's Trip, Tripolis. Asterisk Tripolis.
Yes. No. Very good.
I don't think I've ever seen an Arsenal player go in goal. I remember we've played it. This was one of my... What quickly divert at the end. We played Sheffield United away once.
They had Jagielka in goal, didn't they?
Yeah, because that's what Neil never used to play goalkeepers on the bench because Jagielka was that good. And in the 60th minute, I think Paddy Kenny went off injured. We still lost the game 1-0.
He was quite good though, wasn't he, Jagielka?
We had Henry, Van Persie, Fabregas all played. Just didn't score against them.
Yeah,
but no, that was probably one of the only times we'll mention Kane this season on this podcast.
Be it.
And the Premier League reviews.
Unless he wins Champions League.
Yeah, when he scores against Arsenal in the final.
Oh, that would be great. That would be good.
Right, now I want to say, thank you again all for listening.
Yep.
Back to must be the first time we've done back-to-back Mondays in...
Yeah, down here as well. Long old time.
A long time. We'll be back next week with review of the game week 2. Similar sort of vibe. Pick a couple of games.
Yeah, having a little chat. See
if happens. Transfers. Super Cups on Wednesday.
Yeah,
probably won't talk about that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think in a week's time, again, Chelsea have just got Caicedo. They have a new player. They got Lavia, so they'll be moves already, and different players playing here and there. So no, look forward to it. Another week of football.
Another week, and keep liking all the stuff on the Instagram. It'll be more interactive now that the previews will come back.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to push more content on YouTube, doing YouTube shorts now.
Yep.
So again, just continue to like it, share it to a mate who hasn't seen it before, and leave a review on Apple or your five stars on Spotify. It all helps. It all pushes it up the charts, and so more people will see it that way, and helps us all. And just want to say again, thank you for all supporting again, and we'll see you next week.
Stay loyal.
Stay loyal.